Hello everyone, it's Kathy Champion and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina. If you are interested in any of the products that I show on my channel and you do not have a Stampin' Up demonstrator that you are currently working with, please reach out to me. I would love to help you with any of your crafting needs and also give you advice or help with anything that you have purchased in the past. So I am doing a series, Stampin' 101, and this is our third installment, and this one is all about adhesives. Our first lesson we covered the different types of cardstock, and then our second installment we talked about folding our cardstock to form it into cards, and also matting, and I showed you how you can do a very simple card just with a couple of elements: a strip of paper, a mat, and a punched item, and a stamp. So a lot of times you'll hear the word SIP, stamp, ink, paper. That's a very simple card that you use nothing but the stamp, the ink, and the paper. Now we're going to go over ink in another video, but today it's all about adhesives. And I'm going to go over our line of adhesives and explain each one to you so that you can have a better idea of what you're purchasing and what it will do. The first one that I want to go over is a tried and true glue. Everybody needs a good all-purpose glue. Stampin' Up sells this multi-purpose glue, and it has a tip on the bottom, a big tip, where you can put glue down on large areas. Some people didn't even know that was there. I've heard people say that. And then you have a more fine tip, not a real fine tip, but a regular tip here, which is the one that I use the most. So that is your multi-purpose glue. This is something that every crafter should have in their arsenal. The other liquid glue that we have is the one with the I'll get that out in a minute. Precision fine tip. And what that is, it's almost like a little needle nose tip. And if you notice, we have this little needle that goes down into that tip so it doesn't get clogged. And this is great for putting glue. Well, it doesn't want to go back in. This is great for putting glue on those little tiny places of elements and die cuts and things like that. That's hard to get glue. I'm going to have to clean that tip because it did not want to go back in there. But that's what this is so good for. So if you are gluing down, let's say this is the last card that I did, and say you are gluing this down and you want to glue all of these little pieces and get glue behind them, that precision tip will help you do that. So that's another great glue to have in your stash. The next thing that is a basic adhesive is the Stampin' Seal, and it comes in two strengths. You have your regular Stampin' Seal and you have the Stampin' Seal Plus. Now you buy the initial piece like this, and I'll see if I can get it open and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Once you buy this initial holder, then from that point on you just buy the cartridges. Whoops. And they come in a pack like that. So then when you get them, the only time that you would need to replace your outside piece would be if you wanted to add another one because you need it, or if this one cracked or broke. So I just buy refills for this. Now everybody has a preference. I prefer the Stampin' Seal Plus. It's a little bit more expensive than the regular Stampin' Seal, but I like this because it rolls easier, it's not as gummy, and it just works better for me. But I know a lot of people that love the regular Stampin' Seal. And let me show you how that works. Let me grab a little piece of scrap. And let's just say, everybody knows how glue works, so I'm not going to go over glue. Let's say you wanted to glue this strip down to this piece of cardstock. Let me bring that up so you can see what I'm doing. Your Stampin' Seal would work like this. You would just take the top off, and you will start up here at the top, and let's get it going. And then you would just run a line of adhesive on both sides. Now you've got sticky, can you see that? And then you could very easily, and you have to be careful with the Stampin' Seal, because once it goes down, it does not come back up. It's very, very good adhesive. So now all we would do is trim this piece off, and you've got a piece that's stuck down to your cardstock very well. So that is the Stampin' Seal. So that's two more types of adhesive that Stampin' Up! Carries. The other thing is the mini glue dots. Now I have a roll already open, but I wanted to show you this is the way they come. It's a very generous roll. It's like that, and it doesn't look like you've got a lot, but believe me, they are spaced pretty close together. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And there's a whole roll of them. And these are so good for putting down embellishments, ribbons, any little tight space. They work wonderful. And let me show you. Let's say here is a dragonfly. Say we wanted, now normally I would put this on a Stampin' Dimensional, but I'll show you how the glue dots work. You roll back your paper, and you see your glue dot there. And let's say we wanted to glue down each one of these wings. So all I'm going to do is pick up a glue dot, and just by sticking it on, it picks up, and now you've got glue dots on the back of your dragonfly. So let's just put him down right there, press him, and he's in place. So those are your glue dots. Now the Stampin' Dimensionals, which is what I'm going to show you next, they come in packs like this. So you get 3 or 4 sheets of these. Let's take these out. These are the regular full-size Stampin' Dimensionals. And I think you get you get 3 pages of these, very generous pages. And I think these are like $4, so they're very affordable. And you will find yourself turning to your Stampin' Dimensionals all the time. So I'm going to show you, I have some already opened up here. So I'm going to show you how I would take this dragonfly and put him down, and the dimension that it gives you. So here's a glue dot, a Stampin' Dimensional, and I'm going to lay it there, and one more right here. And then I'm just going to pull my backers off. They're sticky on both sides, and they're like little foam dimensions. So now when you put this down, you have that dimension. See how he looks like he's coming off the page? Because he's sitting up a little bit away from the card. You can glue it down flat. Now this isn't completely flat because we use glue dots. And your Stampin' Dimensionals come in 2 sizes. They come in the full size, and they come in these minis. And you can see the minis. They're probably 1/4 of the size of these, and they work fantastic. So that is another way to adhere things to your card base and what have you. All right, the last thing that I want to go over is what's called tear and tape, or you might be more familiar with it called 2-sided tape. And 2-sided tape is very, very, very strong. So if you had something that you wanted to put down, let's do this. I'm going to take a piece of this tape, and I'm going to lay it this way in between my dragonflies. And this is tearing tape, so you just put your thumb down and it tears. It's very easy to tear, but you do want to burnish it down. And then once you get it burnished down, you can take your pick tool and lift up your backer. So your backer comes up just like that. And if you look, you can see you have adhesive. I'm trying to see if the light's catching it just right. But you can see your adhesive right there. See how sticky it is? The tear and tape is probably one of the strongest. Let's say we want to put this flamingo right here in the middle. Now we can stick him down, and I guarantee you he's not coming up. Now, had I thought that I was going to put him down, I would have done a piece across this way rather than down, because we have some exposed adhesive. But we can always kind of, you know, roll that up, maybe even scrape it a little bit with our finger and move it. It's very forgiving type of adhesive. And sometimes you can even use take your pick tool and just tuck it back behind there. Just like that. And down here, again, you would never ever put your tear and tape where it would be exposed to. And if you couldn't get it up and you want to leave it, you could use a little powder or something like that on it to make it less sticky. But that covers all of our adhesives. So we have a multitude of ways to be able to put down our elements on our cards. So here is our line of adhesives. Oh, I did forget something. We also have the strips of foam. These are great if you're running it around the edges of a card and you want everything to sit up. These are absolutely fantastic. And I have had these forever, and they go so far that it is unreal. So this is another way to have adhesive. You get two things of these, and they come in strips like this. They peel off, they're sticky on the underside, and then you have that backer on the front that you just peel off like we did the tear and tape. One other thing that we have is the adhesive sheets. Now these are flat. These work great for die cuts. You put this on the back of your paper, you run it through your die cut machine, and then you peel it off, and when you do, your butterfly or whatever you had put on there and cut will become a sticker, and then you can put it down wherever you like. There's also foam. Let's see if I have the foam sheets. I don't think I do. No, I don't have the other type of adhesive, but there's one more that is an adhesive, and it's a foam. Very much like this, but it's foam. And that's another great way to adhere. But for your basic adhesions, these are my go-tos. These ones right here. I'm trying to get everything in the camera, but it's a little bit impossible. So let's see if we can put that right there and these right here. So this is our entire family of adhesives, and like I said, surely you can find something that will work for you and for your project and your stamping and crafting needs. So thank you so much for stopping by. I am going to flash my host code one more time, and if you spend $50 before shipping and tax in my online store, you will receive a free gift from me at the end of the month. I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. I want to let you know how much you mean to me. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this series, our Stamping 101. And in our next installment, I'm probably going to go over ink, because I think ink is probably our next big thing that we do need to cover. So until we craft again, may God bless and keep you, and remember what I always say: let everything that you do and say, every word and every action, bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. So when you get aggravated in traffic, remember that. When your kids are totally driving you crazy, remember that. Or your grandkids, your husband, your wife, a friend. Always remember that everything that we say and do has a consequence. But I'm so glad that we live under the grace of Jesus, and He is forgiving. And so therefore we should live our lives pleasing to Him. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.